안녕하십니까, 가스공입니다. 오늘 에픽게임즈 무료게임 6차는 아우터월드 스페이서스 초이스 에디션입니다. 19년에 출시한 아우터월드의 리마스터판으로 향상된 그래픽과 게임성을 갖고 있는 우주를 배경으로 하는 폴아웃 같은 게임입니다. 완성도가 높은 게임이니 라이브러리에 꼭 담아두셨다가 시간이 되실 때, 플레이 타임이 좀 긴 편이라 시간이 되실 때 플레이하면 좋을 것 같습니다. 그럼 게임 스타트. 한글화가 잘 돼 있네요. 새 게임 진행을 하면 이제 난이도를 정할 수 있는데, 이거 게임 옵션에서 변경할 수 있기 때문에 처음에는 좀 뭐 쉽게 진행하시다가 난이도가 너무 쉬우시면 변경하시면 됩니다. 시네마틱 자막 보기가 꺼져 있어서 요거를 켜시면 돼요. 제가 아까 플레이할 때 켜놓은 상태인데, 그렇지 않으면 동영상에서 자막이 나오지 않습니다.
Why stay earthbound when prosperity awaits you in the stars? Come to Halcyon, the only colony on the edge of the frontier, owned and operated by corporations. A trip of 10 short years will feel like mere minutes, thanks to the comfort and safety of your very own hibernation chamber. You'll wake up in a perfect society designed to maximize your productivity with guaranteed full employment. With only a minor term of service, you will become the master of your own destiny when you go out of this world to the Halcyon colony.
원래 콜로니에 정착하도록 되어 있는 사람이었던 것 같은데 버려져 있습니다.
Hundreds of thousands of colonists left adrift out here forever, just to keep from damaging the board's bottom line. Disgraceful.
네, 이제 캐릭터를 생성하시면 되는데, 이제 남은 점수 6점을 이용해서 캐릭터를 만들어도 되는데, 점수가 깎을 수도 있어요. 깎으면 페널티가 존재하는데, 내가 어느 부분에 조금 더 특별한 캐릭터를 만들겠다라고 하면 일부분을 깎고 일부분을 더 주는 방식으로 해서 캐릭터를 만드셔도 됩니다. 뭐 자유롭게 만들겠습니다. 캐릭터를 만드는 부분부터 약간 폴아웃 같은 느낌이 많이 드네요.
If I can't save your body, I must at least save your brain. Rather anemic, but at least you'll fit in.
자유롭게 만드시면 되고요. 특성 같은 경우에 영향을 많이 미치니까 조금 신중하게 할 필요는 있겠죠. 스킬은 이제 가능한 점수를 어디에 중점 스킬을 가지고 갈 것인지 정하면 됩니다. 그러면 그 스킬에 이제 10점씩의 플러스 점수를 주게 돼요. 읽어보고 본인이 이제 중요한 부분인 것 같다라고 생각하는 부분에 플러스를 주시면 됩니다. 게임이 이제 스토리를 해결하는 방법이 하나만 있는 건 아니기 때문에, 여기에서 이제 뭐 대화에 내가 중점 스킬을 줘서 누군가를 설득하거나 뻥을 쳐서 속여서 퀘스트를 진행하는 방법도 있고, 아니면 뭐 무력을 사용해서 해치워 버린다든가 하는 방법들도 있기 때문에 스킬도 본인이 원하는 플레이에 맞춰서 자유롭게 선택하시면 됩니다. 적성은 약간의 보너스를 주는 부분인데, 뭐 약간 내용도 개그적인 부분이 있으니까 살살 살펴보시면서 마음에 드시는 적성을 택하시면 됩니다. 저는 이거 할게요. 외모를 커스터마이징 할 수 있는데 시간이 조금 부족하니까 커스터마이징, 원래 여기에 저는 시간을 많이 들이는 편이거든요. 근데 간단하게 기본 캐릭터로만 진행하겠습니다. 머리만 너무 이상하니까 헤어스타일만 좀 바꿀까요? 그 헤어스타일이 남자인지 여자인지 구별이 크게 많지 않은 것 같으네요. 네. 수염은 못 참지. 성별이 여자인 것 같은데 수염은 제가 못 참았어. 네, 여기 보면 뭐 메이크업이나 흉터, 나이 이런 걸로 이제 변화를 줄 수도 있습니다. 이름도 한글로 쓸 수 있더라고요. 좋네요. 네, 이렇게 해서 완성된 캐릭터를 좀 살펴볼 수 있고요. 나중에 바꿀 수 있는 부분들도 있을 거기 때문에 크게 신경 쓰지 않고 진행하겠습니다.
Looks to be your lucky day, my friend. Not likely, bootlickers.
Initiate skip jump.
Structural integrity down 25%. Power levels down.
Shit.
수많은 사람 중에서 한 명 살아났네요.
Ah, there you are. Wondering what's going on, eh? Bit of bad news there, I'm afraid. Your colony ship was inexplicably knocked out of skip space and forced to complete its journey at sublight speeds. This means that you and every other colonist on the Hope have been in suspended animation for 70 years, give or take.
70년이나?
Reviving someone after so long leads to some quite horrifying results. It's called explosive cell death, but it's really more of a liquefaction. Something wrong? Oh, yes, well, not to worry. I've pumped your body full of a special concoction I devised to keep you from dying so horrifically. Hopefully at all, but I guess we'll see, yes? Unfortunately, I used the last of my chemical supplies saving you. I know it's a lot to ask, but I must have your help securing more if we're to save the rest of your fellow colonists. I'd see it done myself, of course, but the board has a sizable bounty on my head. Now, my ship is inoperative, but I've managed to hire a smuggler to help you out. He'll be... Oh, I see we're in position. Good luck! Can you hear me? Is this thing working? Ah, there you are. Now, where were we? Oh, yes, the smuggler. His name is Hawthorne, and he should be waiting for you at the landing site. He's to be your chauffeur, so to speak. Not to worry, I'm told he's a specialist. Dashing gunslinger, one-of-a-kind ship, that sort of thing. You'll like him, I'm sure. I've also outfitted you with a simple wireless monitor, so I can track your progress. I'll check in with you as soon as you land. Good luck. All the colonists are counting on you. Ah, you've landed. Good. Hawthorne should be close by. What in law's name? Is that him? Oh, that idiot. I told him to plant the beacon and move away, not stand there holding it. Oh well, no sense in letting his ship go to waste. Hawthorne won't mind you taking his ship.
Better you than the board, huh? Not sure I trusted the fellow. Might have gone after the bounty on my head. Shame about the whole squashing thing. Nasty way to go.
그냥 착륙을 약간 블랙 코미디적인 요소가 있고요. 뭐 그리고 해보면 사회 비판적인 요소도 좀 있습니다. 여기가 우주가 이제 그 거대 기업들이 지배를 하고 있는 상황이어서 뭐 쥐를 잡을 수 있나요? 안 잡히네요. 현재로서는. 오. 걸렸어? 다행히 도망가네요, 쟤네가.
Easy now. You've been frozen for a while. There's bound to be unforeseen side effects.
오 마이 갓. 네, 응급 의료기기를 사용해서 네, 회복하세요 그랬네요. 이러면 에너지가 올라갑니다.
Hey, you, come here. You've tried the best now. Now try the rest. Spacer's choice. Oh, wow, that stings. Looks like the bleeding stopped. I owe you one. Hope you don't mind me omitting this little exchange from my report. Spacer's Choice doesn't like us accepting outside help. Better, thanks to you. I might have bled out on my own. Or worse, had to go begging the boss for some Adrena time. We were out on patrol. I saw a marauder camp up in the hills. Thought I could take him. Then my gun misfired. Right through my side. I mean, what are the odds of that, right?
본인이 쐈어?
Just barely scraped by with my life. Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders. See those canisters by the entrance? Marauders come sniffing around in here, and I can take them all out with a single shot. Not bad, huh? Yeah, okay. You look like you know your way around a gun. Got some spare ammo, not counting the bullet in my side. Here, you can have my saber too, for patching me up and all. All Spacer's Choice weapons are now 30% less likely to malfunction. You've tried the best. Now, yes, nailed it. You hit your head or something? You're in Emerald Vale. Edgewater's a little... The Hope? Is that some sort of fancy new drug? Don't take this the wrong way or nothing, but I'm not allowed to fraternize with Cleo work.
Damn it, my ears! Oh, what just happened? Can you hear me? What in the hell?
이 쥐를 잡을 수 있을까요? 빠르네 생각보다. 전술 시간 확장, 약간 분리 타임 같은 겁니다. 그래서 네, 오른쪽 범퍼 버튼을 누르면 분리 타임이 되는 동안 조금 다양한 행동을 빠르게 할 수 있습니다. 죽었네. 이렇게 분리 타임을 해서 네, 조금 빠른 행동을 할 수 있어요. 같이 죽었네. 해킹과 자물쇠 따기. 요 상자를 아마 튜토리얼로 해킹해야 되는 것 같은데요. 아까 그 자물쇠 아이템이 있었기 때문에 이렇게 하면 스킬을 사용할 수 있습니다. 일단 목표는 그 아까 불쌍하게 깔려 죽은 그 사람의 비행선까지 가는 게 목표인 것 같아요. 네, 아이템을 얻었기 때문에 이제 착용을 할 수 있습니다. 여기 이제 단축키에 넣게 되면 전투 중에 자유롭게 변경을 할 수가 있어요. 이런 식으로 1번하고 2번에 지금 아이템을 넣었으니까 수착기 1번, 2번으로 아이템을 변경할 수 있습니다. 그래서 사격전을 하다가 무기를 바꾸는 식으로 진행할 수 있습니다. 걸렸네. 네, 무기를 바꿔서 근접으로 한번 해볼까요? 네. 하지만 저는 사격으로 계속 할 겁니다. 잠깐 보여드리려고 한 거고요.
Hey, get over here before you get yourself killed. Don't know where you came from, stranger, but you best keep your head down. There's marauders hereabouts, and worse, landing violators. Gall on that rung leech. Landing in the Vale without using an official Spacer's Choice landing. I'd slap him with a fine if it weren't for all these marauders shambling about. Really? How is he? Shouldn't have done that. Spacer's Choice family ain't authorized to receive medical aid from off-brand physician. We'll see him back to Edgewater, just as soon as I cross these marauders off with the swift, cost-efficient fury. I just, you know, need a couple of winks to catch my breath. Stretch my legs, son.
여기서 이제 선택지를 가지고 이 친구와 같이 싸우는 걸 할 수도 있고 아니면 혼자서 해결을 할 수도 있습니다. 설득을 한번 해볼까요?
Well, sometimes. Management's real good at cost-benefit analysis. But, seeing as I'm the acting manager in this situation, you know what? You're right. It's time we...
Here we go.
뭐 그냥 달려드네요. 또 있나요? 어디서 누가 쏘는데? 항복했던 것 같은데. 네, 레벨을 올리기에 충분한 경험치를 획득했습니다. 캐릭터를 성장시키세요. 그랬네요. 스킬 상승, 사용 가능한 점수 10점, 원거리 계속 올라가네요. 이렇게 해서 캐릭터를 특화해 나갈 수 있습니다. X를 눌러야 적용이네요. 특전도 있네요. 2레벨마다 새 특전을 얻습니다. 강이 남들인 세상. 협상의 달인 뭐 이런 거 해볼까요? 네, 그래서 레벨업을 할 때마다 캐릭터를 좀 특화해 나갈 수 있습니다. 에너지를 좀 채울까요? 헤드하고 키보드를 좀 병행해서 써야 될 것 같습니다. 개고기 어머 먹는 건가? 요게 아까 그 깔려 죽은 친구의 우주선인 것 같습니다. 굉장히 자유로운 게임이기 때문에 뭐 원하시는 방향으로 진행하면 돼요. 그래서 지금 이제 여기를 들어가는 게 순서대로 되어 있지만 딱히 순서를 지키면서 진행해야 되는 건 아닙니다. 입에는 귀중한 물품이 없음을 알려드립니다.
Unauthorized access of spacefaring vessels is a crime. Please submit yourself to the authorities.
컴퓨터인가봐요.
Hello, Marauder. I am Ada, the autonomous digital astrogator. Please be informed that I am authorized to use violent retribution. Please return any misappropriated equipment and exit this vessel in an orderly fashion. Failure to do so will result in your immediate destruction. Jettison procedures initiated. Disengaging airlocks. Preparing to eject all boarding parties in 5, 4, 3. You are still here. My deception protocols have failed. I have been programmed to express disappointment.
실망감을 표시한다. 표정도.
This vessel is the registered property of... I am incapable of accepting orders from anyone other than Captain Alex Hawthorne. I understand. I will require some time to process this information. I am programmed to take orders exclusively from Captain Hawthorne. If I accept your orders, then you must be Captain Hawthorne. Do you understand? I understand. You are speaking metaphorically. You wandered outside this ship and experienced a permanent, life-changing encounter. The old you is dead. Welcome back, Captain Hawthorne. I extend felicitations and congratulations on your life-changing experience. I understand. You are going undercover with an alias. I will update my discretion protocol accordingly. Unfortunately, our engine is currently inoperable. The main drive's power regulator has been irreparably damaged and must be replaced. Astutely observed. However, the probability of locating a power regulator within a worker settlement, high-capacity power regulators are sometimes employed. I have taken the liberty of printing you a new captain's identity card. This cartridge identifies you, Alex Hawthorne, as the registered proprietor and captain of the Unreliable. Do you understand?
답정인 것 같은데 그래도 원하지 않는 답을 좀 들려줘 볼까요?
It is difficult for me to do so. I am programmed to accept commands. Best of luck in your search.
네. 배를 조금 살펴볼까요?
Due to catastrophic power failure, all doors will remain on security lockdown. These are the crew's quarters. Alex preferred to travel alone, but he always had me.
무기를 못 집어넣나요? 거슬리네.
If your equipment is in need of repair or modification, the Crux 2000 workbench is at your disposal, Captain.
작업대에서는 무기의 업그레이드가 가능합니다. 권총이 2개나 있었네요. 제조 재료 사용. 개조할 수 있는 게 없는데. 땜질. 데미지가 조금 올라가네요. 비트를 써서 사용합니다. 비트가 약간 비트코인인가요? 수리, 고장난 걸 수리할 수 있는 것 같고요. 분해는 안 쓰는 걸 분해할 수 있는 것 같습니다. 하나 분해해 볼까요? 무기 부품 3개, 수리. 그러면 무기 부품이 부족하네요. 땜질 하나 해볼게요. 네. 작업대는 이런 거고요.
I suppose everything on the unreliable belongs to you now, Captain. Help yourself. No, really.
마을 쪽으로 나가 보겠습니다.
Say, this wouldn't happen to be your ship, would it? Because you sure walked in it like it was your ship. And if this ship is yours, well, ma'am, you owe Spacer's Choice a hefty fine. Afraid we gotta dock your pay. Yeah, fair point. I'll let it go this time. If you're looking to help us out with our marauder problem, talk to Constable Reyes over in Edgewater. Edgewater's not too far. Just follow the road east of here, over past the cemetery. Now, if you'll excuse me, and
Whoa, hey, where'd you come from? Don't go ambling out in those hills. That's marauder territory, friend. Your pod? What are you on about? You take a bruise to the cranium? Ain't safe out here. You'd best head into town. Avail yourself of Edgewater's high walls and low prices. Pleased to make your acquaintanceship. I'd shake your hand. Name's Silas. Junior in humor for the town of Edgewater. We're all part of the Spacer's Choice family. Got a knack for being discreet-like? There's money to be made, long as you keep your nose clean. Edgewater is a company town, board-owned and operated. That includes the renting means money. Money means paperwork. Paperwork means signatures. Some of our families become a mite delinquent in paying their dues, you see? Company policy. If it was up to me, I'd put the whole town 10 feet under, free of charge.
돈을 대신 받아오는 임무인 것 같은데 마음에 들지 않아서요? 진행하지 않겠습니다. 사품치기. 시체를 묻는 데인가 봐요.
I wasn't dozing off.
알았어. 수비 동작이 있네요. 시점이 이거밖에 없나?
Miss Holcomb, I need you to explain this big lesson. The grease monkey, Argo. Seems we've got a guest. Really now, Parvati, I do apologize. I was given no forewarning of your arrival, or I might have welcomed you at the gates myself. You were saying, Miss Holcomb.
It's just what Bess needs is a proper refurbish. I can bandage her up and what all, but she's just old. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'll do better.
And I do wish you'd stop referring to our cannery as Bess. Personification of company property is strictly contrary to the Spacer's Choice Code of Conduct. My apologies. I am not in the habit of allowing my guests to witness such a row. Now, what can I do for you? I'm Reed Thompson, Outpost Administrator. I cannot help but notice you are not in uniform. Of course not. I don't have that kind of luck. Seems I allowed my excitement to run away with my wits. Been a few seasons since we've had a visitor pass through.
Only regulator we've got is hooked up to the town transformer. Mr. Thompson ain't liable to be keen on dismantling it.
I beg your pardon. I can't let you have our power regulator. But I happen to know of another one. And I happen to know exactly how you may return. Oh, yes. Saw someone put his hands on a regulator while the power was running. There's a power regulator in the old botanical lab. It's mostly abandoned, so all that power is being squandered. Go down to the geothermal plant. Reroute power from the botanical district. I was not entirely sure how to tell you this. The botanical labs are not legally inhabited, but there are people who live there. No, I do not imagine they will be pleased. The people living in the botanical labs, they're deserters, former workers. I need them back at their posts. I need them to come home. Edgewater is struggling. We haven't hit our production. If we don't meet our quotas this year, the company might shut us down for good. I need those workers back at their stations. My hope is that by cutting off their power, you will convince those deserters to come back to town. Before you go to speak to their leader, Adelaide, tell her the power's about to go, and that it's time her band of deserters came back to town. Adelaide's older than the other deserters. She's dignified, kindly. From what I understand, her camp looks to her for leadership. That reason was me. I asked too much and pushed too hard. But we belong to one community, the Spacer's Choice family. If we dissolve into factions, then we will...
My dad told me all about the plant. Taught me all he knew. I mean, if that's all right with you, Mr. Thompson. Sir.
I hesitate to part ways with Miss Holcomb, but I cannot deny that you will need an administrative passcode in order to enter the plant. I am trusting you with mine, and trusting Miss Holcomb to go...
Great! I got my wrenches and diagnosticators and hairpins and engine tape, so I'm all set.
Well, I am glad to hear that. Best of luck to you, and thank you again for your help. It is a lot to ask of a stranger, I know.
동료를 얻었습니다. 동료는 전투를 지원합니다. 스킬을 강화합니다. 소지량 증가.
I'm on my way. Hey, ma'am, can we talk? Sorry. Got a sec? Sorry. You just want to get out of here. And you likely don't want to tag along like me. It's just, Mr. Thompson has his own view on matters, on account of it's his job and what all, but that's not the only side of the tale. Oh, he ain't a liar. He believes every word he says. It's just, he doesn't always get where other folk are talking from. To Mr. Thompson, a person's a gear. It does its job quiet-like. If it squeaks or stutters, it gets replaced. The deserters are decent folk. I knew some of them before they left. I don't know anybody well. I mostly listen to them talk, get my head down. There was a boy named Thomas who used to follow me around, asking questions about the stuff I fixed. He was real sweet to me. Not any sort of dissident. Miss McDevitt? Oh, gosh, no. She was a real important person. A flavorist. Made all the food taste decent. She used... All I know is she left after her son died. It was a real big to-do. Can't say as I know. I wasn't there. If Mr. Thompson ain't of a mind to tell you his own self, you'd bet Mr. Thompson's aiming to take away their power. They'll have no lights to see. It just... It don't seem right to me, ma'am. I think you should talk to the town's vicar about it. Max, his name is. The mission's on the east side of town. You can't miss it, on account of it being the only clean thing. Thanks, ma'am. I just think when you gotta make a decision that'll hurt somebody, it's best to think on the right and wrong of it. That's what my dad used to say anyways.
약간 결정을 해야 될 문제가 생길 것 같습니다. 이제 그 이탈자들의 전기를 뺏어서 돌아오게 하고 싶어하는 이 마을 지도자하고 그리고 이탈자들은 왜 이탈을 했는지 이런 부분에 대해서 약간 선택을 해서 결정을 해야 될 일이 생길 것 같아요. 식물 연구소가 있고 교회가 있다고 했는데
I've always felt weird in here. It's too clean.
Yes, what is it? You're an outsider. Fantastic. Vicar Maximilian de Soto at your service. Or Vicar and Ms. Holcomb as well. How rare to see you out.
Just tagging along, Vicar de Soto. Don't mind me.
I so rarely get new people to talk to. Name your poison, anything at all. Spiritual counseling, this season's tossball predictions, the quickest way out of town.
But what? I thought you would talk to him.
You wanted to speak to me, Ms. Holcomb? Every time I've tried to engage you in conversation, you look... I can't imagine what would be so grave as to drive her to my mission. What has Mr. Thompson asked you to do? Depriving them of safety from the marauders and wildlife. I can see why that troubles you. Miss Holcomb has a soft heart. Always has, if you believe the talk. Assuming your goal is to save as many as possible, then you should bring everyone together. Send the power to Edgewater and convince the deserters to return to the fold. Not if things are left to stand as they are. If you don't mind a bit of unsolicited advice, be cautious on your way to the... One of the reasons I transferred here was to fulfill my duty in hunting down... I happen to know such a book is, as we speak, tainting a collector's library, and my retrieval efforts have been thwarted by marauders who have overrun the property. Should you fare better than me, I'd pay a handsome sum for the book. I just want to keep the writing out of layman's hands. It wouldn't do for such information to fall into public consumption. It's a handwritten journal. A faded blue cover with the name M. Bakonu handwritten in the lower corner. It is not only a beautiful relic of a bygone time, it's also the thoughts of an early... Not many in this colony could understand its true value. Thank you. If you retrieve it, you can... Any progress on that? Please get it. A religious text deemed heretical by the OSI. Because I'm also a collector of books. Rare things in this colony. Appreciation of the written word.
그닥 확실한 솔루션을 주는 건 아니네요. 그냥 설득을 하라. 하하. 나보다 장비가 좋은 것 같네요. 약탈자 반달?
Okay, keep him quiet. Here we go. Everyone all right?
어메, 약탈자. 아이템이 뭔가 좀 있나요? 방어구. 방어구. 채굴 장비. 접근전. 기술 스킬.
Get ready. That's the last of them.
뭐 이래저래 잡긴 잡았네요 다. 돌격소총. 소총으로 무기를 바꿔볼까요?
Incoming.
어메. 나 참.
Got 'em all.
어메. 잘못 들어왔네 완전히. 뭐야? 어딨어? 자판기가 있네요. 구입, 판매. 네.
Move along, stranger. We don't want any trouble. I don't know you. Whatever you're looking for, it ain't here. Move along. Armed strangers wandering into my camp for one. Some of my camp wandering out for another. Got anything in you besides questions? No, I'm sorry. That was unworthy of me. Lady named Zoe went missing some nights ago. Just up and vanished without a trace. Now I'm pacing around wondering if marauders got to her. It's not like Zoe to go wandering. Figured she might be out scavenging, but that ain't exactly her talent. Can't imagine where she's gone. Hale's a wide place. She could be anywhere. Could do without the gallows humor. Over in the hothouse, bending crop. I'll tell you what I can. Vex me. If she told anybody, they ain't telling me. I'd check her room, but I got yelled at for snooping once already. Could be. Dangers aplenty out there. No telling why marauders would steal somebody like Zoe. Marauder gang just moved into the districts a little ways east. They're well enough to know we never got on. Zoe and Stefan were close. If anybody knows the workings of her mind, he does. What is it?
If you're hungry, there's meat turning on the spit outside. If you're bearing illness, find a place to lay your head down and I'll fetch you a poultice. Whatever your troubles with Edgewater, leave them at the gates and be welcomed here. Any questions, dear? I have been called that, among other things. Green Thumb.
Excuse me, Miss McDevitt? Sorry, it's just... You got such pretty trees in here.
Why, thank you. You're Robert's girl, aren't you? I remember when you were but a sprout. Thomas speaks of you often. Are you staying long? You should try some of my tobaccorn tea. I brew it in an old spittoon, but it's been cleaned. No, dear. The garden belongs to us all. Life is the gift of... The soil around the Vale went sour years ago. The secret recipe is a little bit of elbow grease, a dash of love, and a heaping pile of special fertilizer. Reed Thompson, you here on behalf of that cold-eyed rept... Let's hear it. What's Reed's idea of peace, then? Like everything else that comes out of Edgewater, that peace offering is canned. I and my own are living just fine out here by ourselves. He would do such a thing. The question is, why would you agree to his plans? Cannery's got a regulator. You want chip parts, you ought to rip them out of the cannery's guts and leave us be. If you're going down to the plant, you should divert power away from Edgewater and toward our end of the grid. Think about it. You'd be liberating an entire town from a lifetime of service to that odious cannery. Seems the sort of thing a hero would do. A hero to the people who matter. To us. Reed will never understand. He has been too long inebriated on the wine of corporate culture. All he sees is productivity, output, profits. Life in Edgewater grinds to a halt. The cannery shuts down, workers desert in droves, and our own little camp grows and thrives. You bring power to Reed's town and you'll be killing us. Reed knows it. He's counting on it. You've seen that miserable excuse for a town with your own lamps. Hollowed out workers laboring their lives away at the... You know that's true, don't you, Ms. Holcomb? You're...
He was tired all the time, sure, but he was old, ma'am, and...
Look what they did to this child. Lost her family to the company, and still she defends them.
I'm all right. I ain't so fragile.
That was unkind of me. I'm sorry, dear.
이쪽이 훨씬 착한 사람인 것 같은데 두 마을 중에 하나를 선택을 해야 되는 딜레마를 주네요.
It's not much of a living. Every single person in that town has sold themselves to Spacer's Choice. The company owns them. Body, blood, and bone. All anyone ever does is toil over a cannery. They give their lives for some heartless corporation, and then they're tossed into a Spacer's Choice brand cemetery. So, what do you say? Divert power over to us. Shut down that abominable cannery. I trust you will listen to your conscience.
허허. 엄청난 딜레마에 빠졌는데요.
Anything else I can do for you? I am getting old, you know. These two lamps of mine are not as bright as they once were. Or I'm... Remains to be seen. Might be the woman that saved... People around here lack the strength to effect change. Or they have the strength. A little prattling never hurt anyone, dear. You might even catch a little sense, if you listen close enough. I can't stop you from conducting your business down at the plant. I just want you to know that if you take our power, not under Reed's watch, he and I would come to blows within a day. And he would never... This is my home. It will be my home, even if Reed... That's because Reed was my boss. I was the cannery's one and only flavor specialist, you see. My son worked in that cannery. We had a store of medicine locked away. But Reed refused to treat him. Said, so I buried my boy in the cemetery, gathered my belongings, and left. A fish rots from the head down. I do not blame the town. I blame the leader.
고민되는데요? 뭐 근데 마음은 정해진 것 같습니다. 착한 사람인 척 해보죠. 빠른 이동이 가능하더라고요. 그냥 뛰어야 되나 본데?
Unexpected. Look out!
어메. 뭐가 많아.
Processing data.
That's the last of them. Three switches. That'll be easy enough.
내가 원하는 방향으로 퀘스트를 못 깨고 있는 것 같은 느낌인데.
Security, but
Here they come! Not working! That's the last of them! Two more. Incoming! That's the last of them!
Not real. You're not real.
무슨 소리야?
Get away!
Mind the steam. You're liable to get scalded. Got 'em all. what happens to the mail?
우와.
All I know is the decision's final. Once we do this, there's no going back. Excuse me, ma'am. Look, I know you want your power regulator and all, but I just gotta ask you. Do you understand what you're about to do? I don't think you should cut off Edgewater's power. I think it would be cruel. Edgewater's hurting. We've been losing workers year after year, and corporate hardly ever sends replacements. But the town's got some good people in it. Decent, hard-working folk just living their lives the only way they know how. They don't deserve to be punished. Miss McDevitt's built something beautiful. It's plain to see she's made the Vale a better place. But Miss McDevitt delights in Edgewater's suffering. Well, that sure sounds like Mr. Thompson. If he was standing here, I imagine he'd remind us of how we're... In Mr. Thompson's eyes, those deserters are still part... I hate to say it, but I think Mr. Thompson's got a point. Unless those deserters come back, Edgewater's as good as dead. Cutting off... Sorry, I didn't mean to babble on like that. I felt like I had to say something. Really? I mean, wow.
엣지워터의 전력 재배정, 식물연구소의 전력 재배정. 네, 일단 선택은 했고요. 리드가 안 좋아하겠네요.
Here they come!
Nearby bottleneck. Security, let's roll.
아하, 많아. 소지량 초과.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, marauders, desertion. Then you wandered in town. And I was so damn sure our luck was starting to turn. I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me. Adelaide wants nothing more than to see this town suffer. To see me suffer. All you've done is... Whatever you were hoping to find down here, I advise you to turn around and leave. I have got guards posted with orders to fire on you. Edgewater's dead. Our cannery's dead. Adelaide's deserters are never coming. Spacer's Choice will shut us down before long. Some of us will die of illness by then. And as for me, I will tender my resignation. Whereupon I shall be processed and then duly imprisoned for gross incompetence. Apologies won't give us our lives back. But for what it's worth, I am sorry too.
잘한 걸까요? 어디가 선인지 사실 잘 모르겠네요. 이탈자 평판 증가. 우리 가드들은 나를 쏠 거라는 것 같은데. 어머, 어디야? 아이, 진짜. 사실 가드들이 무슨 잘못이 있나요? 아까 거기서 위협할 수 있는 거였으면 좋지 않았을까 싶은 생각이 들긴 하네요. 약간 마을 사람들이 안 좋아하는 것 같은데요. 어디? 뭐가 와? 아이 참. 그냥 항복해주면 안 되겠니, 얘들아? 이거 아닌 것 같아.
You want to know what gets my bile churning? Edgewater has suffered a cavalcade of disasters, plague, I never knew how right I was. Just answer one question for me. Why'd you do it? Is that right? I'm dying to hear this. Please, educate me. Apologies won't give us our lives back. But for what it's worth, I am sorry too. All right, easy now. Let's not do anything we'll regret. I'll order my guards to stand down. Take what you came for and then leave us be. Stand down, all of you. We're...
마을한테 굉장히 뭔가 미안한 짓을 한 것 같은 느낌이 드네요.
Is this your ship? Oh my stars, she is just so handsome. Does she have a name yet? What's her drive model? Oh, gosh. Listen to me babbling. When I was in Edgewater, I dreamed of flying on a real... Edgewater won't last another season without power, but that don't change the fact that I'm indentured to Spacer's Choice. Company expects me back in my post. I've worked on the occasional supply coach in need of repairs. Once I built a little model craft out of spare... I want to ask you something, and you can say no. But... can I come... And if you ever need a pair of eyes watching your back, I can do that too. What do you think? Yeah, I've been thinking about that. I had my misgivings about Miss... You took pity on them, and sent power to their garden even though you knew Mr. Thompson would hate you for it. All this time, you've been determined to get your regulator back, get your ship up and running, and cut a path out of this place. And not much of an edge... My whole life's been... small. Then I saw this ship. This gorgeous, stately lady with her eyes turned skyward and... Yes! I mean, thanks. You won't regret this, ma'am. Captain. I can call you Captain now. Ha! I got a captain.
네, 완전히 동료가 된 것 같습니다.
Captain, I have detected that the town of Edgewater is now without power. I appreciate you doing your part to hasten their demise. What can I do for you, Captain? Do you know how to install a power regulator? Outstanding, Captain. Your aptitude for engineering will prove invaluable in the event of another catastrophic engine failure. Our engine room is located behind you. What can I do for you, Captain? All systems are operating within acceptable parameters. I am prepared to bring the unreliable into low-altitude orbit. This should prove an adequate test of our flight capabilities.
네, 이렇게 함선을 고쳤기 때문에 뭐 이동을 편한 대로 해도 좋고 이 행성에서 뭐 나머지 일을 더 해도 되는 것 같습니다. 일단 비행까지만 한번 해볼까요? 네, 이제 선택지에 따라서 자유롭게 우주를 탐험하면 되는 것 같습니다. 조금 쉬었다가 뒷부분 진행을 더 해봐야 될 것 같은데요. 좀 아쉬운 부분은 3인칭이 됐으면 좋겠는데 너무 1인칭으로만 돼 있어서 캐릭터를 좀 보면서 게임을 진행하면 좋을 것 같은데 모드가 있었으면 좋겠습니다. 게임 리뷰는 여기까지입니다. 엔딩까지 플레이 영상이 보고 싶으시면 댓글 남겨주시면 영상 제작해서 올리도록 하겠습니다. 에픽게임즈 무료 게임 티어가 조금 올라가고 있는 것 같아요. 다음 게임이 뭐가 나올지 살짝 기대가 되네요. 즐거운 게임 생활하시고요. 가스공이었습니다. 구독, 좋아요, 알람 설정 해주시면 다음에 또 좋은 게임 정보로 찾아뵙겠습니다. 감사합니다. 사랑합니다. 빠이.